So, I'm not sure on dates here, but some years ago, somebody came up with an idea of a way for people to fund uh, major projects, whether it's a movie they wanted to make, or a graphic novel, or a video game, and it was called Kickstarter. Kickstarter was so good that imitators came out, each with their own way. GoFundMe was for people who didn't mind having to put in some of their own money if they didn't reach their goal. GoFundMe is mostly for people who really need, sorry, I just ran upstairs, money for, I don't know, cancer treatments or buying a new car or sick dog, something like that. Just more personal stuff. Less dreams and more, I needed to keep myself from dying, now please fund my bills. So, but there was nothing really made for, video series, a web comic, regular music songs that are put out. Instead of putting on an album, it's pretty much, I guess you could say, your music career or your art career, or whatever else. Just a way to kind of at least ease the pressure of having to get all the equipment and putting the time and the effort into it, and hopefully you make enough of it that you can quit your job and just do this full time, make even more great content, and make more people happy. And Patreon is a great site for that. And I know a lot of people in both my reviewing and comic creating circles, not so much from the blog circles, but they do allow for that. But it's a way for them to kind of fund their ongoing dream instead of just their current dream. And I started one, kind of an act of desperation because I just lost my job and I was scrambling for something. So it's not easy finding a job when you're in the bathroom a lot. But there's a thing about Patreon, and I was actually part of a chat with a bunch of other Patreon supporters. There's a great, let me just make sure I look up the name, make sure I get it right here. Facebook. There's a great group on Facebook. I post into it immediately, or if I gotta look it up, or I have to look it up. Groups. And just groups. I want to discover things that I'm looking for. CT Redneck. T Craigslist Redneck. Okay. The original that's odd. Just make sure I get the name right because I know those group. Okay, hang on. What's going on here? Why is this close? But I'm following the other group. Why didn't that come up? Closed group is in you have to be approved for. Okay, sorry. And of course, the original Patreon creator support group. That's a group you got to sign up, and if they let you in, it's not really a chance for you to promote your Patreon because all of us are on Patreon. It's more of a way to kind of discuss what we're doing with Patreon and try to help each other improve our Patreon offers and everything, in selling and everything else. So I did a little podcast with them, and one of the points that came up was that Patreon does not bring you fans. You have to get the fans first, and then they can support you on Patreon. As I said before, I've got 600 people following me on various social media, 600 plus people, various social media, and very few viewers. That means viewers and listeners, I mean readers. So that means that I don't really have a big fan base. So not surprising, I currently have no Patreon subscribers. If anybody wants to give me some tips, patreon.com/bwspotlight. Look at it, tell me what I can do to improve things. Because, even at the end, I can make it the best pitch ever, the greatest reward ever given to mankind. But if I don't have people who's actually paying attention to the things I create and are interested in the things I create, then it doesn't matter. Because Patreon does not bring fans. Fans support your Patreon. And I don't have that many fans. So, ergo, I've had 2 patrons at 2 separate times, and they both disappear within a year. So it tells me that I'm doing something wrong somewhere. And that's something that I really need to figure out if I'm going to not only get patrons, but to keep those patrons. So that's kind of an issue that one of the many issues I'm trying to think about is, I would love to be able to get a new computer or a drawing tablet, one of those big printers, so I can get like a bigger paper. I don't know if I'm doing the bigger comics online, because I don't think I'm ever going to sell my art. I don't think my art's that good. It would save on the clutter, and I have a project all about clearing up my clutter. So that's kind of something I think about is I can probably make a better Patreon, but if I don't have any patrons, then it's kind of pointless. And when you get patrons, you get fans. So we're back to a problem I had before. How do I get people who follow me to actually pay attention to my projects, to actually read my articles and form an opinion, or catch my weekly comic strip, or watch my videos? And that's kind of what you have to focus on more than trying to make the perfect Patreon. First, you got to get people who like you enough that they'd want to support you. Then try to think, what kind of rewards can you make? And for me, that's all I can really do right now is early access. I can't really. I was thinking about doing a monthly newsletter. Maybe I could try to start doing that if I had a patron. But I kind of get some snags with everything else I've been having trouble with, so that didn't help matter. But so yeah, that's something I'm thinking about. Is less about how to make a better Patreon, and more about how to draw potential patrons. And social media has not worked for me, like I said yesterday. So, what is my solution? What do I do to get people more interested in my work? Specifically, people who might want to support it and help me improve with getting better equipment, getting better educated, being able to not have to worry about bills and everything else, and I focus on doing something for stress relief, and then just focus everything on trying to make content. And that might give me the extra drive to really get my schedule intact the way I want it. But it's still going to take quite a few patrons to do that, or at least one person who wants to spend a whole ton of money, and I don't know anybody like that. So that's kind of what I'm working on right now. Is in order to get patrons, I need to make good content, and that's what I want to do anyways. I want to make good. I need money to make better content, and I need better content to make money. So that's a weird circle. It's about making sure that you make money doing something you enjoy. I enjoy doing reviews and commentaries. I enjoy telling stories. I do enjoy what I can do with the videos, but they're usually in service to other projects. It's not really the videos themselves I'm interested in. It's how they can benefit my blog and maybe even the comics. So, but I still like making them. I like the result. The editing process is a bit of a pain because I don't have a good enough computer, but everything else is cool. So that's something that I need to work on, is to get my schedule up working again, make better content, find a better way to promote myself. Hope enough people like what I do to give me some support. So it's a long process. That's the role of creating. Even though the internet makes things easier, it's still not easy. There's little thoughts going through my head now. But if you want to see any, check out what thoughts are going through other people's heads in this Art Soundoff challenge. Go to Patreon. Go to leantoart.com. No, sorry, I'm getting everything all mixed up. If you want to see what the other Art Soundoff challenge participants are talking about, you go to twitter.com and look and check up the hashtag Art Soundoff. If you want to take part in the Art Soundoff challenge, then you go to leantoart.com/artsoundoff and tell you how to set things up, they give you some potential prompts to do, and November's still here, so why not give it a shot in the next few days. And if you want to see more of the stuff that I'm doing, go to bwspotlight.com. There's even links in the footer for BW Beyond to everywhere else that I'm situated. And well, that's that for now. So I wish you very much happy creating.